Keijuo nodded at Kenji and the group started heading out of the ninja camp. As they ran out of the camp, Kenji and Yasuo started jumping onto the trees and hopping from one tree to the other. This was an essential skill for all Hidden Leaf shinobi. It helped them immensely when they were in their own territory or when inside a forest when compared to ninjas from other great villages. Keijuo looked at the backs of his two teammates before quickly jumping onto a tree branch. Thankfully, with the memories of this body, he could emulate and do whatever the past Keijuo had been able to. As the group ran in a triangle formation with Kenji at the front, they started this patrolling route. The route that the group usually goes on is about 4 kilometers from the camp entrance, and from there, we complete a full circle around the perimeter, after which we are done for the day and return back to the camp, Keijuo thought as he followed behind his leader. The first 20 or so minutes of the patrol went calmly as the group concentrated and kept their guard up against any signs of danger. However, it seemed luck wasn't on Keijuo's side today as, at the 21st minute, something did happen. Suddenly, as they were hopping from tree to tree, Kenji stopped on a tree branch abruptly. And in the tree branch where he had been about to jump to, tens of kunai had been embedded into merely a split second later. "Enemy attack," Kenji quickly said as he raised his guard up even further. Keijuo and Yasuo stopped right behind him, each on a different tree branch as they started looking around for the attacker. "It's an ambush. All three of us are civilian ninjas, so we don't have any special methods of tracking, none of us are even sensors," Keijuo quickly thought as he looked around the trees before he noticed something heading towards them. "Explosive kunai!" Keijuo screamed before jumping away from the tree branch he was at currently. Kenji quickly followed and jumped away from the location, however, Yasuo was too slow in his reaction speed. Keijuo saw the kunai with a paper tag attached to it fly directly to where Yasuo was. The paper tag had already started burning, and when Yasuo tried to escape and jump away, it was already too late. Boom asterisk. With a loud booming sound, the explosive tag exploded, destroying everything in a 5-meter radius, Yasuo included. Keijuo saw it clearly, the face of his teammate as the explosion hit and ripped his body apart, as half of his body was erased from the explosion, blood splattering everywhere. "Fuck," Keijuo thought before he quickly turned to where the kunai had been launched from. North, 15 degrees toward the south. Keijuo quickly shouted out the direction from where he had seen the kunai being thrown from. Kenji nodded his head and quickly started running toward the location. Keijuo looked at the man for a moment before shaking his head. "What the fuck are you doing? We're only 2 people and you're just going to go head in first," Keijuo thought to himself as thoughts of retreating alone immediately filled his head. However, he shook his head merely a moment later. "I could be considered a deserter and killed immediately after." Jumping from the tree branch, Keijuo quickly followed Kenji for a few hundred meters before he saw Kenji fall down to the grass below. Joining him on the ground, the two found themselves in a small clearing inside the forest. Looking around, Keijuo found nothing besides silence. However, that was a clear indicator that something was wrong. "I can't hear anything, this is a genjutsu," Keijuo thought almost immediately. Putting his hands together, Keijuo quickly disrupted his chakra system. However, nothing happened, and the silence still remained. "Is my chakra control too low?" Keijuo thought next as he looked at Kenji, looking around for any sign of the attackers. Taking out a kunai from his backpack, Keijuo pierced his leg slightly. At that moment, he started hearing sounds once more, and there right before Kenji was a ninja. Kenji didn't even notice the enemy who was right in front of him. However, even Keijuo had been too late in releasing the genjutsu. Slick asterisk. Pain erupted from Keijuo's back, and at the same time, he saw the ninja sever Kenji's head, it falling down to the ground together with his body whilst blood erupted into the air, almost like a water fountain. He himself saw the ground closing in as he fell down. Turning his eyesight to the back, he saw another ninja. It was a kid, someone who couldn't be older and was maybe even younger than Keijuo himself. He had a scared look on his face as he held a kunai in his hands, which were trembling as he looked at Keijuo, who had fallen onto the ground. At this moment, another person appeared and started patting the young kid's shoulder. "You did good, Aoki," the man said. He was large with a muscular frame and short blonde hair. A Cloud Village symbol adorned his headband. "This fucker, I'm his first kill, aren't I?" Keijuo thought, however he could even talk out loud as blood filled his mouth and throat. "However, next time you have to remember to finish the job, Aoki. This is war and all of these wretches are nothing but that. Pieces of shit who deserve to die," the man said before taking out a short sword from his back and getting closer to Keijuo. Grabbing Keijuo's hair, he held him up before giving him a bloody smile. "Any last words, tree hugger?" the man said as he held Keijuo up with one hand, whilst holding the short sword in the other. Keijuo looked at him as immense hatred radiated from his eyes. He was mad at the man, angered at the young ninja, and before all of that, he was furious at the whole situation, at having been reincarnated into this shitty world. Opening his mouth, blood leaked out as it dripped down all the way to Keijuo's chin. "Your mother will miss me," Keijuo said before his expression turned into a smile and he spat onto the man's face. This seemed to anger the Cloud Ninja as he raised his short sword and cleanly severed Keijuo's head. Here's the daily chapter. I hope you guys enjoyed reading it. Thanks for reading. 3.